Tonight on Reporting Scotland, our top athletes get ready to compete on the biggest world stage, the Paris Olympics. 34 of them are part of Team GB, and as tonight's opening ceremony gets closer, they're focused on medals.
I ran to win Olympic silver last time was such a really special moment, so yeah, I'm in the best place I could be going into Olympic Games.
That is also why I compete. I love those atmospheres and those environments. They are really exciting.
Also tonight, after a 40-year campaign, Scotland's largest area of blanket bog gets World Heritage status. And we'll have a full sport and weather roundup. Hello, I'm Sally Magnuson. Welcome to Friday's programme. In around an hour, the opening ceremony of the Paris Olympics will begin. Security's high after last night's attacks on rail lines in France. We're promised a spectacle par excellence, taking place not in a stadium, but on the River Seine. Aboard the Team GB boat will be 34 Scots athletes. Our sports news correspondent Chris McLaughlin has been speaking to some of them.
After years of planning, Paris is ready. One of the most recognisable cities in the world, playing host to global sport's biggest gathering. An extra 12 million people are here just for the Olympics. Over 10,000 athletes will compete over 32 sports. 326 of them are from Team GB, and of that number, 34 are Scottish. So who are the big hopes? Duncan Scott will be targeting gold in the 200 metres freestyle after his silver in Tokyo. On the track, Laura Muir is on form and capable of gold in the 1500 metres. Shooter Sinead McIntosh has her eye on a medal in the 10-metre air rifle. Triathlete Beth Potter is the current world champion. Expectations are high. And in the velodrome, Nia Evans has a chance to add to the silver she won in Tokyo in the team sprint.
I broke my British record just a couple of weeks ago, so that I've been running the fastest I've ever been ahead of Olympic Games is really exciting, and to break the time that I ran to win Olympic silver last time was such a really special moment. So yeah, I'm in the best place I could be going into Olympic Games.
I also think it can be quite a good thing to get quite excited about the moment of it being an Olympic final or being an Olympic semi-final, because that is also why I compete. I love those atmospheres and those environments. They are really exciting.
And of course, it'll be a final farewell for this man. He's won 2 golds over 4 games. So, could he bow out with more?
Now that the time's here, I'm really happy. I've loved being part of the British team at the Olympics, or when we played Davis Cups and stuff. And yeah, I'm happy that this is where it's gonna end. Obviously, to win a medal for your country, if I was able to do that in my last event, would be extra special. I'm not saying that that's a certainty that's going to happen, but I think we have a chance if we play really well.
It's all being pulled together at a cost of over £12 billion. Organisers want Paris 2024 to be a return to sporting celebration after the COVID Games in Tokyo. But with global political tensions high, the city is taking no chances with security. Over 75,000 soldiers and police will be on patrol throughout. And in typical French style, a spectacular opening ceremony on the Seine will get things started. After that, it's all about the medals and all about the sport. Paris 2024 is here.
And there he is in Paris for us now. Chris, what's it like there at the moment, given the troubling arson attacks overnight on the French train lines?
Yeah, it has been tense here, Sally, in Paris today. There's absolutely no doubt about that, given what happened this morning. But we are just over an hour away from the ceremony on the Seine. Spectacular backdrop. Very shortly, 100 boats will be making their way down here with 10,000 athletes. It's never been done before, has always been held inside a stadium. Those boats will pass some iconic Parisian landmarks before ending just at the foot of the Eiffel Tower. 100,000 fans are lining the banks of the Seine. They will witness it. The Olympic Games are upon us, and the French are doing it in style.
Chris, thank you very much. Chris McLaughlin there in Paris. Before the election, there were warnings that the new UK government could face a spending black hole of billions of pounds. Now that seems to have come to pass, with the Chancellor due to outline on Monday the scale of the hole in the nation's finances. The SNP are saying they predicted this and the Chancellor should apologise. Our political correspondent Andrew Kerr is with me now. What are we likely to hear then, Andrew, from the Chancellor on Monday?
Yes, Ali, an important statement from Rachel Reeves next week. In some ways, we get this from each new government. They open the finances and look in horror at what is before them. So this Treasury audit is looking at about £20 billion. Some independent analysts question the extent of that figure because you can come to it in different ways. In particular, a couple of areas facing shortfalls: asylum and public sector pay. Now, the Scottish Conservatives are saying this is all about buttering people up for Labour tax rises, saying the Chancellor is cynically acting daft over this.
Any idea of the potential impact on Scotland? I suppose it depends what's done.
Exactly. Well, it could have an impact on Scotland, of course, because it will have an impact across the whole of the United Kingdom. We are looking at almost tens of billions of pounds here. Now, the Labour government has committed not to lift income tax, VAT, national insurance and corporation tax, but there could be changes to capital gains tax and inheritance levies that could be on the table as well. Now, the government don't want to borrow. They're hoping for growth, of course. Now, the SNP's Westminster leader, Stephen Flynn, said he predicted, and others indeed, an £18 billion black hole before the election. He says if Labour's election campaign was a product in a shop, voters would be due a refund for false advertising.
Andrew, thank you very much indeed. Some of the day's other stories now. A body's been found in the search for a missing hill walker in the Highlands. Formal identification has yet to take place, but the family of 64-year-old Ruth Betts has been made aware. The discovery was made around 7:15 last night on Garavinach near Kinlochleven. Police say there are not believed to be any suspicious circumstances. Plans to reveal which new hospitals, surgeries and treatment centres due to be built in Scotland have been delayed. At least a dozen projects are on hold as a result of budget pressures. A revised Scottish Government plan, due to be unveiled in the spring, is now expected alongside the next Scottish budget around December. The Finance Secretary says she has to wait for confirmed funding from the new UK Government. Scotland's won the World Schools Debating Championships in Serbia. The annual event involves around 70 countries debating a variety of topics. Team Scotland faced New Zealand, Pakistan, England and Qatar before winning the final against Bulgaria in Belgrade last night. The team included pupils from Broxburn and Dollar Academies, Portobello High and St Columba's School. Now, it's taken nearly 40 years of campaigning, but today Scotland's precious flow country has been awarded World Heritage status. The 2,000 square kilometres of wetland in Caithness and Sutherland is one of the most intact and extensive blanket bog systems in the world and home to many rare and endangered birds and insects. It's hoped this rare honour for a landscape will create more local jobs in conservation. Ailey Davis reports.
1 million acres stretch as far as the eye can see.
It may not initially grab your attention like the Great Barrier Reef or the Grand Canyon, but these peatlands all around me have been growing for 10,000 years. It's formed by waterlogged layers of vegetation which don't fully decay, trapping millions of tonnes of greenhouse gases.
In terms of numbers, it's more carbon stored in this peatland, just in the flow country, than all of the woodlands and forests in the whole of the UK. So that's why it's really important, that's why we need to protect it.
People in Caithness and Sutherland have been looking after the land and their stock for generations. This crofter believes the new status will bring benefits.
I think it'll bring in more eco-tourists and people interested in nature and the wildlife and the flow country. Everyone's going to want to come and see this almost, nature's medical, and for generations to come they can see that this is perhaps a way forward.
These peatlands have been quietly storing around 400 million tonnes of carbon. Now they're being recognised for their globally important role in addressing the climate crisis. Ailey Davis, reporting Scotland.
A menopause specialist says more support's needed in the workplace when it comes to understanding the issues women are facing. One woman from Aberdeen says the way she was treated at work over her menopausal symptoms made her feel suicidal. Now, a new study involving Scottish researchers will look at how things can be improved. Fiona Stalker reports.
It just came crashing down. I didn't actually think I was a real person anymore.
50-year-old Karen Facherson describing how she felt during the menopause.
Work-wise, I just felt that I couldn't cope with the workload anymore. I just didn't know who I was, especially the brain fog and the anxiety.
Karen worked at an engineering firm in Peterhead. Her boss told her she used the menopause as an excuse for everything. She won her tribunal for unfair dismissal and harassment.
I was suicidal, especially during the tribunal process. That was just the worst thing I've ever gone through.
Yeah. That experience, researchers believe, could be the tip of the iceberg.
This is a massive issue because a lot of women are not able to speak to their employers about the symptoms they are having due to menopause, especially brain fog, lack of concentration, and combined with physical symptoms, it can sometimes be debilitating.
Tell us the kind of questions.
This survey is one of the first to assess mental health in menopause.
Most of these women are still working and they are really productive members of the society. They have a lot of experience, knowledge and skills. We don't want to be losing them from the workforce.
The data gathered from Karen and other women will be used to improve health and workplace menopause policies. Karen's slowly getting her life back and is now working for a menopause-friendly employer. And that gives her the strength to keep fighting for others.
And it's just so upsetting. It really is upsetting that we're half the population and we're not being treated properly.
Fiona Stalker, reporting Scotland, Aberdeen.
Amy's here with the sport, and it's sport of the footballing variety.
It certainly is, as we were kicking off, Sally. Thanks very much. Hello there. The Scottish FA's new head of refereeing, Willie Collum, says he wants officials to work together with ex-players to build better relationships and drive up standards. The experienced Category 1 referee, who has taken over from Crawford Allen, is keen to improve on-field decision-making and have less reliance on VAR, as well as better communication around the controversial handball rule.
We're going to engage with the players, coaches. We'll also engage, probably inviting to our meetings ex-players, through the PFA. I'd like to build up a good relationship with them. I've yet to reach out to them, but I will. I think I've been able to see good examples that UEFA used when I was an active referee with former players coming to meetings, and we can learn for each other. They're learning for the referees are learning for them, because sometimes as a referee you maybe don't know why a player's doing something, what the tactics are, what would be good information for us to know.
Derek McInnes believes Kilmarnock are good enough to push on and progress to the next round of Europa League qualifying after coming from behind to draw with Cercle Bruges in last night's first leg at Rugby Park. It was a pulsating clash in front of a sellout home crowd. The Belgian side took the lead early in the second half through Kazim Olugbai, but Kelly, they rallied and David Watson got the final touch on a long throw to draw level.
I'm comfortable with the result. Ideally you'd like to win it, but normally it takes two big performances to win a game in Europe, particularly when you're not the seeded team. And that's the first part done, and we'll take the confidence, we'll take the fitness for it, and we're good enough to go and get the outcome that we all want.
Meanwhile, St Mirren boss Stephen Robinson believes they're still right in the tie after drawing in their first European game in 37 years when they played Icelandic side Valur. The Paisley side had several chances in the first leg of their Conference League qualifier in Reykjavik, with their opponents going down to 10 men, and Robinson's full of belief they can carry that on into next week's second leg.
Should have scored, but we didn't, and that's, listen, the boys are getting in the right positions, we're playing the football to get them in there, so it's hard to be that critical of it. It's our first game in Europe for a long, long time, and I think the boys done the football club proud tonight. we could have won, but we had to rely on Ellery with a couple of good saves as well. So all in all, like we wanted to be in the tie by the end of this game, and going back to Paisley, and we're certainly right in the tie.
After months of financial uncertainty and speculation, Inverness Caledonian Thistle have accepted an offer for a majority shareholding in the club. 77 Ventures is described as an England-based sport, leisure and entertainment firm, and their chief executive says they are relishing the opportunity to drive sustainability and growth in the club. The Cali Jags, who without fresh investment were preparing to potentially go into administration, were relegated to League One last season. And Sally, while many businesses may slow down a little bit in the summer when it comes to football, transfer business, it's a very busy time. And just to bring you some news from Rangers, they have signed Vaclav Cherny on loan from Wolfsburg for the full season.
Okay.
So some news.
Thanks. Good to get that in. Thanks very much indeed, Amy. Now it's over to Laura Miller to find out what's happening on BBC Scotland at 7 o'clock.
Hello, coming up on the programme tonight, we'll be live at the opening ceremony of the Olympics in Paris. Also tonight, as Barack and Michelle Obama endorse Kamala Harris as Democratic nominee, we ask, can she beat Donald Trump? 10 years on from the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, I speak to the photographer behind a new exhibition examining its legacy. Plus, mic drop to Team Scotland, the new World Schools Debating Champions. Switch over at 7.
And now Chris in front of a wonderful throng of foxgloves, and if they're not foxgloves, blame my glasses.
I couldn't tell you, but look at the beautiful blue sky as well. Lots of sunshine, a bit more of that on the way through this weekend as well, Sally. Thank you very much indeed. Very good evening to you. Yeah, we started the day with some decent spells of sunshine, didn't we? But then the cloud bubbled up and we saw a few showers as a result too. In fact, a few of those showers quite heavy. The odd rumble of thunder in the northeast in towards Caithness as well. And certainly still a few sharp showers to come for the next few hours. So let's take a look at this evening, and you can see we've got some late sunny spells around, but equally a number of showers in the north and northeast, 1 or 2 in towards the southwest. Overnight, clearing skies and temperatures not falling too far. For central and southern Scotland, 10 or 11 Celsius, a touch cooler further north. Cloudier skies, though, in the south with some showery outbreaks of rain in towards parts of South Lanarkshire and the borders. A few showers in the northwest. As we head through towards lunchtime tomorrow, we'll see those showers extending towards the central lowlands. But in the south, after that cloudy start, the cloud thinning and breaking into some sunshine to go with the showers as well. Here's a snapshot mid-afternoon. You can see at this point in the day, the showers beginning to pull away from the west coast. So plenty of sunshine here through the afternoon, up to around 20 Celsius. A few more showers through parts of central and eastern Scotland, and certainly in the far north, 1 or 2 heavy ones. Perhaps the odd rumble of thunder in the mix. Lovely sunshine, though, around the west coast and through the Hebrides and for Shetland too. Tomorrow evening, those showers fade away. Acres of evening sunshine to enjoy tomorrow night. And then overnight, we can see we've got high pressure situated pretty much overhead, affording us a dry and fine day on Sunday. Now, initially, there could be a bit of low cloud and mist around some western coasts and hills. That should then lift. A little more cloud towards the Western Isles and the Northern Isles, but many areas dry and sunny. Only some fair weather cloud to contend with. And temperatures responding 22, maybe 23 degrees in the warmest spots. Winds are light. And then looking ahead towards Monday, that high pressure holding on for most. A little more cloud across the northwest with a few spots of rain, but in the sunshine elsewhere, temperatures once again reaching the low 20s by mid-afternoon. That's the forecast for now.
Lovely. Thanks very much, Chris. And McAlpine will be here at the later time of 11 p.m. Until then, do enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.